How do you navigate the new year with all the changes that are happening so quickly? So much is radically changing around you. So how do you know what decisions to take? And can you use the I Ching or astrology for that? Or is it just all make-believe and wishful thinking? And the answer is the I Ching is not so much an instrument to predict the future, but it is a very good tool to make decisions. And that's why it's been used for many centuries by kings and sages like Confucius, also known as Confucius. And let me tell you how that works and how the I Ching knows what you're going through at a certain moment. How's that possible, right? I'm going to give you 7 steps to use the I Ching to make sure you make the right decisions. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to find the right app or method to use the I Ching in an effective way. And the one that I like the best. I'm not an affiliate and I don't make any money from that. It's just the one I use. And you might need something like that because change is coming and you're in the middle of it. Hi, I'm Alex, the Dutch Taoist. Do you believe in astrology or do you use the I Ching to make decisions? Or do you have doubts about that? Or you don't know how to use it? Let me know in the comments below. I discovered that the I Ching is an amazing tool and let me tell you why. First of all, I'm not alone in this. The origins of the I Ching date back more than 3,000 years and it's considered one of the oldest and most influential books in human history. It played a role in the overthrowing of dynasties and kings. It has influenced mathematics, science, medicine, martial arts, philosophy, art, wars, and religions. Confucius kept a copy of the I Ching by his bedside and he wished he could live another 50 years just to study this mysterious book some more. And that guy was really smart. And his commentaries turned the I Ching into a philosophical masterpiece. And the German scientist and mathematician Leibniz even translated the system from the I Ching into the modern binary system that we use in computers and that you are using right now to watch this video. You know, the zeros and the ones, it all comes from the I Ching. There must be some deep insights in the book, but I never knew whether I should take it seriously. I would use it every now and then, just like many people in the spiritual scene, but the text seemed like vague on purpose. So I would project my own meaning into the text. And I'm going to come back to that. So I didn't know what to do with it because I'm a pretty down-to-earth guy. But then I made a discovery that turned my view upside down. And that had to do with astrology, which is something completely different, but it opened my eyes to the fact that the universe is an intelligent organism and you can learn to communicate with it. I always had my doubts about astrology too. Because the human mind is so good at deceiving itself and seeing exactly what it wants to see, especially with hindsight, right? And then early 2019, I discovered that a lot of astrologers were predicting that 2020 and 2021 would be a watershed moment in human history. And they were very specific in their predictions. They said, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but it could be a war or a famine or an epidemic. But they could predict what it would feel like, so the energy and how society would react. There would be more control from governments, more suspicion from the people, and a lot of issues around truth. Sounds familiar? So I told many of my friends in 2019, hey, if you want to know if astrology works, then now is the time to pay attention because these predictions are so specific that it will be very easy to say if they're telling the truth. But the funny thing was, nobody was interested. Nobody. But I was. So I looked at my own chart and I saw that these big changes were going to happen in the area of my public life, my work. And of course, I immediately started fantasizing about what that could mean. I had been in film and television for 30 years as a screenwriter. And I thought this means that I should take my career to the next level. And then, of course, 2020 happened. And the exact moment that COVID was discovered coincided with the exact alignment of planets that they had been talking about. And everything they predicted basically came true. However, not in the way that I thought, right? And that's such an important lesson. My ego projected all kinds of beautiful things, but my ego is very limited. For me personally, the change was a lot more extreme than I thought. I basically opted out of my career and I wrote a book about my spiritual awakening experiences. And I took my spiritual teaching online and it just went boom. And that was a change that I had not seen coming. But it was a change that had been 30 years in the making. So the astrology had been completely right and I had been completely wrong. Now back to the I Ching. What does the I Ching do? So the I Ching uses 64 hexagrams, and that's a scientific map of all the possible energies in the universe. That's what that is. Taoists say the whole universe is energy, is Qi. But Qi constantly moves and changes. And the hexagrams are a map of all the possible combinations of yin and yang energy. And what you do is by throwing sticks or coins or using the app is discovering what energy you have in your life right now. It's an energetic snapshot or a selfie of your life right now. And then the Book of Changes, the I Ching, tells you how to interpret this specific energy for this specific moment. Now let me tell you how to do that the right way and how that works so you know what to do with it. So the I Ching does not pretend to know the future, although certain energies or hexagrams seem to indicate certain changes coming, like a beneficial influence coming. And that always means that influence is in the air right now. Not next week, not next year, like astrology where you can see the themes of coming months, but right now, which is a very good instrument because every decision you make it now, right? And the very strange thing is, if you do it right, the I Ching does know what the energy in this moment is for you. It's almost scary. So how does the I Ching know that? Well, it doesn't know it, you know it. And I don't mean your subconscious, although many skeptics will probably say that, but I mean your intuition, your sixth sense. And the most people know that they have intuition, right? So this is an instrument to channel your own intuition. It is the most perfect instrument to do that. And that means you should know how to use it in a way that actually taps into your intuition and not into your ego. Because the I Ching means Book of Changes, and that not just because the universe is constantly changing, but it's because we are the universe, and this book will help you navigate the changes inside you. So it's not just that society is changing, it is we that are changing and we are society, okay? So the wisdom of both the I Ching and astrology is that they reflect the changes inside of you. And it will help you to recognize the streams of energy inside of you that need attention. So yes, the change is coming, but don't project it all on the 1%, the elites and the governments. Use this beautiful instrument to understand yourself better, because real change comes from within. So how do you use the I Ching? Here are some tips. Number one, you do it with a calm and clear mind. That means shut down your ego and let intuition speak. So best thing is after a short meditation or a Qigong practice, because that clears the mind from ego and it makes it easier to ask your higher consciousness for guidance. Take a deep breath, close your eyes and then ask for guidance. And that's tip number two, is don't ask a yes or no questions, because then you don't need 64 hexagrams, right? You only need 2. No, you concentrate on a statement about something that you want to do. And make sure the statement doesn't have any negative, like, I'm not going to school today. Then just say, I'm staying home today. And if the answer is not very clear, you can concentrate on a second statement, like, I am going to school today, and see what happens. However, and this is tip number 3, focus on one subject at a time. You concentrate on 2 or 3 statements on that one subject, and preferably do it only once a day. So don't go through your day asking questions all the time. Should I wear my blue jeans or my white jeans? Should I go left or right? No, you use it for important decisions or insights. and once a day, because you'll see otherwise the answers are going to be very vague and not to the point. Number 4 is to focus, concentrate on a statement, and then use the app or the physical coins. And what do you do then? Number 5, you read the commentary, and this is where it gets interesting, because if you have the text that suits you, it will not predict the future so much, but it will take you inside yourself. It's meant to be a little vague, so you can meditate on it, and like a koan, you can use that text to get deeper insights into your emotional state at this moment. And that self-knowledge is what you really need to use the I Ching well. Because just like astrology, it will give you insight on wisdom and self-knowledge to make the right decisions. Not to see what disasters are coming, but to do the right thing at the right moment. And that's how astrology worked for me in 2020. I saw that my desire to write a book about my spiritual awakening was part of something very deep inside me that wanted to come out in the open and say, hey, this is who I am. So in the end, it helped me tremendously and gave me more confidence to take that huge leap of faith. So what app do you use? Whatever app or method you use, you should feel drawn towards that, okay? That's an intuitive decision in itself. The app that I use is the I Ching app by Browne Walker. And I felt drawn to it because the commentary is modern, but he's distilled all the wisdom from the ancient commentaries into a modern text that is poetic as well. And that guy is really good. It's like a beautiful app with a lot of wisdom. But you choose whatever fits you. There's a ton of websites online where you can do this for free and read the ancient text for free. So you don't have to use an app. But I like this one a lot, so that's why I'll put the name in the links below. And then you choose whatever you're gonna choose. And the last advice is to stick to one app or commentary or a book that fits you for a longer period of time. Don't use them all at once, not gonna help. So believe me on this one.